CEREC has an unbelievable history. Sirona continues to drive the market and the technologies. And the people that benefit are us, the dentists, and eventually our patients. I want to be talking today about the 3 cameras of CEREC's history. The red camera was basically a one-tooth system. You could do more than one tooth at a time, but it made it very difficult. When you look at the models from the red camera days, there were usually 1 to 2, maybe 3 teeth. If they're any more than that, like if we were going to do, say, 4 teeth, we typically used what was called a jig. The red camera had a hard time with turning as it went around the arch. It wouldn't splice the images as it went around. The next camera was the blue camera. It still required powder, but hardly any at all. It was just a light dusting. It was amazing the amount of data that it could pick up just from a tiny little bit of powder. Now this camera, we could take much longer models, so it wasn't very difficult to do 2 and 3 and 4 teeth, and even say 8, 10 teeth. But going around an entire arch was difficult because of the powdering and the angulation of the camera, which had to be held in a very specific way. With the higher resolution of the blue camera, it opened up a lot of opportunities for bridges and even into implants as the software developed as well. So the blue camera was a groundbreaking moment in the CEREC history. And of course, the camera that we're using today is the OmniCam. There's no powder. You use it just like an intraoral camera. It's basically a video camera that builds a model at the exact same time. There really isn't much to learn about it other than how to retract the cheeks and everything, but as a dentist, you should already know how to do that. The great thing about the OmniCam versus the 2 cameras before it is it doesn't need powder, of course. But the clinical aspect to that is that you don't have to retract the tissue quite so much or even necessary. Because it's a color-based system, you can see the difference between enamel and gingiva. Whereas the powdered systems, you had to have retraction of that because the powder covered the enamel, covered the gingiva, and it looked the same in the model. No longer is that the case with the OmniCam, so it makes it incredibly easier. What I love about it is you can be prepping the tooth and think, you know what, I think I'm finished. Put your handpiece down, grab the OmniCam, put it in the mouth, and you can see where you're at. You may just have to adjust a tiny little thing, or you may be right into the game. Whereas in the prior cameras, you had to make sure everything was perfect as best you could. Then you powder, then you pick up the camera and you start taking the images. Well, you know what? There's going to be a new camera. All these companies are constantly innovating, and yes, there's going to be something new. Don't wait for the purple camera to come out. The OmniCam is already everything you could possibly want, and then some.